Welcome to the International Show, sponsored by Star Central and presented by the gentleman of country radio, Mark Eckel, with Australia's First Lady of Song, Shaza Leigh.
And good morning, everyone. It's great to have you on our international show. Mark Eckel behind the microphone, and you are listening to us on all the W's.Oz Radio Gold, simulcasting on Oz Country Music Radio and Allied International Radio.com. And I'd like to introduce my fabulous co-host, the one and only Shaza Leigh. Hi, Shaza.
Good morning, Mark, and it's fantastic to be coming to you from Tamworth. We have a bright, sunny morning today.
Well, we have a bright, sunny morning here in Mildura, Victoria, Australia as well. So we should have a bright show today, Shaza.
We will. We're on fire, mate.
We certainly are. And later on, we've got a fabulous guest that I'm going to be interviewing from Las Vegas, and so many of her wonderful fans right around the world, particularly for her poetry, are going to be listening in. However, of late, our KC Lacoste has become a pretty prominent songwriter.
She has, and she's writing some brilliant stuff, and it's just great to see Casey coming into her own as an artist. She is also doing a great amount of work behind the scenes to promote a lot of artists from over in the US through into Australia, through the Star Central network that we have here. And it's just wonderful, the association that we've built with Casey, and the friendship is an important part of that too. She's a really beautiful soul, and it's lovely to work with her.
Yes, it certainly is, and you're right. What she's doing for our broadcast is exceptional, and thank you, KC, and thank you, Shaza, for mentioning that. And also, I don't know whether people know, but KC has a brand new album. She's just produced it, fully produced at great cost. Just ask her. And down in Texas, it's called The Last Sunset, and she'll be bringing it out here to Australia when she visits in September. So we'll be really looking forward to that. It's cowboy poetry of the old American West. She just loves telling the stories, and that's something that you associate yourself to as far as songwriting is concerned, Shaza, telling the stories of Australia and the people.
Totally, and as a songwriter, that's our responsibility, is to be recording stories of the time. And I know KC does this very well. She captures the mood and the feel of their life over there and the way that they live. And we try to do the same in Australia. Casey really is at the forefront of her industry over there, and it's wonderful what she's doing, and we're so looking forward to her new album.
Yes, and as we know, people that are loyal listeners, KC's poetry is on each morning around about 8:15 on Oz Country Breakfast. I'm going to ask you about this gentleman, because this is just terrific that we have this Northern Queenslander, I think, Miguel Rios, who has joined the ranks of Star Central with a new, and it's a spiritual song, and it's a very deep song too, and it drags you in. It's called Innocent Man. What do you think about that, Shaza?
Look, I thought it was a really interesting track, is the way to describe this, for Star Central to promote, because he doesn't fit into the norm of country music, certainly not what we expect of Australian country music, but the song has its own life force, and he as an artist presents it extremely well. So Star Central were very pleased and proud to promote this track, and it's going to be interesting for us to see how it performs in the international market. We certainly believe that it will hit some really good targets here in Australia.
Oh, I couldn't have said that any better. So let's go to Miguel Rios, and this is Innocent Man.
This is a long, long road, and I'm carrying a heavy load. I'm a drinker, fighter, I carry a ton. Lord, that's where I'm coming from. Out with the boys, I act real cool. Truth is, I've been a real fool. I I've fronted every court in the land. I plead this is just who I am. I believe I'm an innocent man. No one listens. I'm sent down again. My time's nearly up. Soon I'll be free of a life that will be the death of me. I kneel before the precious Lamb who was nailed to a tree, an innocent man. Working in the blazing sun, I'll be grateful when this day is done. I gotta keep this pickaxe swinging to the beat of the song the boys are singing. Lord, only you can set me free. Everyone else has given up on me. My time's nearly up. Soon I'll be free of a life that will be the death of me. I kneel before the precious Lamb who was nailed to a tree, an innocent man. I pass my case to your higher power to plead for me in my final hour. Only you, Lord, can understand the pain of being an innocent man. My time's nearly up. Soon I'll be free of a life that will be the death of me. I'll kneel before the precious Lamb who was nailed to a tree, an innocent man. I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent man.
Yes, there you are, Miguel Rios. And I must say, a famous name, but not the same artist, obviously. The artist of Song of Joy and Like an Eagle, which were massive hits around the world. But this is our own Miguel Rios, so I thought I'd have to point that out a little bit, Shaza.
Yes, and we're really excited to see how well that track can do, because as we said, it's very different for a track for us to be promoting, and we're really excited.
Now let's go real country now, because we're going to talk about Dianne Coombes and what a follow-up to her previous hit. This is going to be a good one. It's called Hearts Drawn in the Sand.
Yes, and Dianne's last hit single in Australia made it onto the international chart. It ended up number one in several charts here. It did extremely well for her. This is her next single, and we believe that this one will really kick some goals for her as well. It's hardcore country music. It's typical of an Australian sounding country track. So it has all the ingredients, coupled with her great vocal ability, that it will certainly kick goals in Australia.
Yeah, I think it will too. Here it is, Dianne Coombes and Hearts Drawn in the Sand. And we'll be talking to Dianne in a couple of weeks' time on international radio show, so stay tuned for that.
Isn't it lovely how raindrops catch the streetlights? Liquid silver, they dance for us to see. And as stars appear, diamonds on black velvet. Oh, but nothing shines like love you bring to me. Love surprises as it's all planned. Who would have thought it? Baby, here we stand, laughing like children, holding hands and writing our initials in, hearts drawn in the sand. We've been a long time waiting for this moment. Both of us lonely, barely getting by. Now we find us past sorrow makes it sweeter. And I will hold you till the sun falls from the sky. Love surprises as it's all planned. Who would have thought it? Baby, here we stand, laughing like children, holding hands and writing our initials in, hearts drawn in the sand. Life surprises as it's all planned. Who would have thought it? Baby, here we stand, laughing like children, holding hands and writing our initials in, hearts drawn in the sand. Writing our initials in, hearts drawn in the sand.
Yes, Dianne Coombes there. Just love her voice. Hearts drawn in the sand. And you know something that I always mention when I'm on radio and hear voices like that are identifiable. So you know it's a Dianne Coombes song. That's got to be a plus for an artist. Shaza, what do you think?
I think it's very important, and if I put my production hat on now, our record label has always looked for really unique, distinct voices, so that when people do hear them on radio, they know which artist that is. We're not really in the business of just mass producing a similar sound like a lot of the international music does these days.
Yeah.
So we just love a unique voice that people really stand up. And if you go back years ago, those unique sounds of your big stars, your superstars, all had those really unique voices, and that used to be the way the music business was. These days it's changed a little bit, but we still are of the old adage that a great unique voice is the way to go.
And they also kept with the same artist in the studio with them, like instrumentalists. Elvis Presley, had the inspirations there all the time, and of course James Burton on that magnificent guitar. They did that too, didn't they?
It's all part of creating a sound for an artist, and by having that continuity of sound, an artist generally cuts through, and that's how you actually achieve longevity for your career.
Yeah, and I identify an LBS track straight away because of the beautiful guitar work of Lindsay Butler. And that's the truth.
Yeah, and as a production team all across the board, we do create that sound. So an artist comes in and we create a unique style for each artist, but there's still that overall blanketing sound that we actually pull from our studio. And if you look back through history, all of those big studios like Bradley and Chet Atkins and all of them, they all had their own unique sound, and artists went to those studios to actually have their career set in place.
Yes.
And there's a fan base that comes attached with that sound as well, which is beneficial to new artists starting out.
Absolutely right. Now, this next track identifies exactly what we've been talking about, because Highway 95 have done that. We've had three of their tracks now on our charts, and this latest one identifies that sound that we're talking about, and Nicole Bryant has really got that.
Yes, they do. And they use, I think they're using their same musicians over there, that same pool and their team of people. And it's hard edge. I guess it's probably on the harder edge of country music in Australia and around the world. But they're building a fan base and they're getting a following for their unique sound.
Yes, that's Nicole Byland, and I just love her voice, and her husband's a fantastic instrumentalist as well. And it really comes together beautifully, and we'll be talking to that band on our international show into the future as well. So you've really got some great interviews, folks, that will be lining up over the ensuing weeks. So stay tuned to the international show every Tuesday at this time. Here's Highway 95, and the song is called Voices. Yes, and they are a great artist. They're just fantastic. Highway 95, and it's a big song called Voices, and it's out and about now. And all these tracks, by the way, are available on your download, and you can go into Star Central too. Shaza, I want to pick up on our previous conversation in regards to production, and particularly hearing that Highway 95, and how you said that it's so important when I raised the issue about instrumentalists being in the studio of note that can give a blend, and you as a producer can lend yourself to producing that same sound for the artists. What about artists that find it difficult? Because I was only talking to a writer, and I don't mind mentioning his name. He's a lovely fellow from Ireland, Stephen Hoare, that wrote that number one song for Claire. Papa wrote a song for Mama. And he is finding it dreadfully hard to get in the studio. And I was just wondering, I know there's a lot of production that's happening. You could be in one country and the track's produced in another. How do you go as far as the vocals are concerned with having and doing that with your studio at LBS?
These days it's ridiculously easy, Mark. With technology, we can actually just have a vocal file sent to us, and we can use all the very best musicians here in Tamworth to actually build that track. So as long as they can get us a clean vocal, and we can actually build the track as if they were with us.
Fantastic.
It is that easy these days.
Yes, I've heard them talking about the instrumentalists and getting those from Nashville or whatever. But we have, as everybody notes, not only ourselves here in Australia in the industry, but overseas, they're all saying the same thing about how wonderful musicians that we have in our country, and that they can use them. So you hear often about the musicians, but you don't hear much about passing vocal tracks across.
Yeah, and we all do it all the time. And in turn, as well as the vocal tracks coming to us for us to build because that artist wants our sound, we had an artist came here that wanted a southern rock sound, and it was a rock track. It wasn't anything to do with country music. And my son actually sent that track over to America, and we got back this really heavy-duty southern rock track as if it had come straight out of America. Because
wow.
And so all of those facilities are available to artists these days, which has really opened up the whole world and made every musician and every studio available to everyone in the world. It's quite awesome.
And talking about your son, and I know I don't want this to be all about LBS, but by gosh, he can play the drums, so you've got a great drummer in your studio now.
Yeah, look, he is just formidable, and we're so proud of what he has achieved. He's a high achiever and works really, really hard on everything that he does, and he just decided he wanted to be a great drummer, so he made that happen. And we're very proud of him here, and very very happy to be integrating him into our tracks these days. Yeah,
fantastic. All right, well, let's go to the number one track on the Tiger Oz CMR chart at the moment, and it's Billy Gregg and Nikki Nelson, and it's called Fueled Up, Fired Up and Ready to Go, and it's another one of these awesome tracks from Marty Denton.
From my Bible about God's holy word, memories of my Sunday school and the stories that I heard. Listening to my teacher, I'd hang on every line, standing on the promises, and I'm calling them mine. I'm gonna get fueled up on God's holy word. I'm getting all fired up with that Holy Ghost in my soul. When Jesus splits that eastern sky, I'll be ready, yes I know. I'll be fueled up, fired up, and ready to go.
things I've lost. I'm standing up for Jesus, no matter what the cost. This old man's dead and gone, and yes, I'm all brand new. The whole wide world would feel the same if they only knew. I'm gonna get fueled up on God's holy word. I'm gonna get fired up with that Holy Ghost in my soul. When Jesus splits that eastern sky, I'll be ready, yes I know. I'll be fueled up, fired up, and ready to go. We gotta tell the world about Jesus so everyone will know. You better get ready if you wanna go. I'm gonna get fueled up on God's holy word. I'm getting all fired up with that Holy Ghost in my soul. When Jesus splits that eastern sky, I'll be ready, yes I know. Gonna be fueled up, fired up, and ready to go. Fueled up on God's holy word. I'm getting all fired up with that Holy Ghost in my soul. When Jesus splits that eastern sky, I'll be ready, yes I know. I'll be fueled up, fired up, and ready to go. Gonna get fueled up, fired up, and ready to go.
Yes, and great artists. Well, when we're talking about Nikki Nelson, of course, from Highway 101. So you're really getting up there in the names, aren't you, Shaza?
Oh, you certainly are. And I just loved that track the first time we heard it, and it's so great to see it still getting the airplay that it deserves around the world.
Yes, because we were just having that chat off air about how songs can be missed and then they can find it a little bit later on, and the same, they can go to the top of the chart and fall off as quick as anything too. But what you said was right. The DJs could be waiting for a song and hanging out for a song and then finally getting it, and they're all playing it straight away, and it not necessarily is the deserves what it gets. Can I say that?
And there's timing for tracks too.
Yes.
It depends how many other great tracks are out when yours comes out, so that you're all fighting for a position on the chart. If you manage to fluke a month where there's not much out there, you can go straight to number one and sit high for a number of weeks. If your track is the one that just happens to hit a chord at a particular time, so it's very much timing with music and
yes.
and how people accept and receive it in that point, in that moment, really.
And it was the same, and I've always said this a number of times, so the listeners have heard it, that Larry Kahn's song about Tamworth Gold, how he released it in December, and of course Tamworth's in January, and it's about Tamworth Festival, and I just said, this will be a hit for sure. Not only is it a good song, but what great marketing.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Yeah.
And so artists need to be aware of that when they're releasing their tracks, that they try to put the right song out at the right time. And it was really interesting. An example of that was the song that I put out for my father's funeral, because there
Yes.
was so much hype about Dad at the time, and so many people in Australia knew our father, that song just kept getting airplay. And even when we moved on to the next single actually suffered because that song
Yes.
was still getting so much attention. That can just happen, but I didn't have a problem with that either, but that's just how it does happen.
No, you shouldn't have a problem with a couple of songs in the charts. That's for sure. Look, we're going to do the same as that we did just a moment ago. I'm going to play Tom Curtin, and we helped take this to the top of the charts. And Tom's got a great song out at the moment that I'm playing on a daily basis. So what do you think if we go and play When the Rain Comes Down?
I'd like to revisit that one because it was released 8 months ago. At the time, it had massive airplay across Australia. It was a huge hit here, and it also gained some traction internationally. So it's really nice to revisit these big tracks that we've released over a period of time. So his 8 month old track, we'll play it now.
He's standing out on a dusty plain. Been so long since he felt the rain, and everything dry like a bone. He lifts his gaze to the empty sky. He kicks the ground, the endless dry. Been waiting for rain for so long. Can you hear the calling, hear the rumble? Can you feel it in the air? Across the mountains, across the ridges, it's coming in, I swear. And the rivers will run, and the healing time begun when the rain comes down. Oh.
He's near the point when the hope is gone. She watches him as he struggles on. It's never easy out here on the farm. And the children ask, Mom, is Dad okay? Why don't the troubles just go away? As she gathers them close in her arms, she says,
can you hear the calling, hear the rumble? Can you feel it in the air? Across the mountains, across the ridges, it's coming in, I swear. And the rivers will run, and the healing time begun when the rain comes down. Oh, 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 when the rain comes down. They'll be dancing in the rain and singing on the plain, and thunder rolling across the sky. There'll be lightning cutting loose and pounding on the roof when the heavens open up tonight. Can you hear the calling, hear the rumble? Can you feel it in the air? Across the mountains, across the ridges, it's coming in, I swear. And the rivers will run, and the healing time begun when the rain comes down. Oh, 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 when the rain comes down. The rain tumbles down.
All right, Tom Curtin, When the Rain Comes Down, and what an artist, one of our finest independent artists here in Australia. You are tuned in to all the W's.AusCountryMusicRadio.com, simulcasting on Oz Radio Gold and Allied International Radio. And we haven't spoken about this particular showcase, that it is going to YouTube, all the showcases each week, and also doing our podcast, so you can listen in at any time. And we are slowly getting them up, aren't we, Shaza?
We are. Peg actually goes to great effort to edit them, clean them up a little bit, and then she uploads them for prosperity. So because we were out on the road, we did get a little bit behind with unavailability of technology. However, we are catching up, and we will have all podcasts up probably within the next couple of weeks.
Fantastic. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to revisit, like we've been doing, some of these wonderful songs, because we did have this conversation off air. When we do download our songs to Oz Radio Gold and Oz CMR, I know from my perspective it's in forever. When you get something that passes my ears and I really like it, then it goes into the playlist and I just don't take it out. It just stays there. So at the moment, I don't know what I've got, 50,000 songs or something in there, Shaza. I don't know what your policy is with Oz Radio Gold.
We actually retain every hit song, so every song that makes it into the charts actually stays in the actual pool, and those tracks just get rotation for the rest of time. Some of the tracks that we just bring in as special features, they go. Because we have to rotate tracks, but we basically keep every hit song in our playlist forever as well.
Yeah, and because we go to a lot of trouble to choose the Star Central marketing, all those stay in, don't they?
Oh, absolutely, because they get worked very, very hard to radio, and it's very rarely that one of those tracks don't chart on some chart, because some of them like a specialist gospel track, so they may only chart on the gospel chart itself. Some of them may be bush ballad tracks, so they come up in the Australiana. So, but you can guarantee that when these tracks are worked so hard to radio, and there's so many people playing them around the world, when the reports come back in, nearly every song ends up being retained in the playlist.
And behind the scenes, yourself and Peggy, of course, have been putting together a website.
We have. We've built that over the last couple of weeks for the Australian Country Music Network, and that's the culmination of the three, they're full-on 24/7 country radio stations, being Oz CMR, Oz Radio Gold and Allied International Radio. And those three networks are dedicated to promoting country music full on, so that people can tune into those stations and listen to their favourite music any time of the day and night, anywhere in the world. So we've actually brought that network together as one, so because each station has its own different feel, and so therefore you can actually circulate the stations and just listen to great music always.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's also on Facebook, isn't it?
Yes, it is. There's a page there that people can follow, and they can actually communicate and talk to all of us as well. And we use Facebook as a communication tool, so that we can actually chat to the fans, whereas the website is standalone. They go straight to the website, select whichever station they want to listen to that day, and or for an hour, and then they can switch stations. I know we do that because there's certain programs on the three different stations that we want to listen to at any given time. There's other programs that aren't necessarily our favourite program for the day, so we switch over, and so we actually even interchange in our household between those three stations. There's other times when they're syndicated, like this show, and it goes across all three stations at once.
Yes, so it gives an additional, it's all about the artists, of course. So that's what's so terrific.
Yes.
But what I like that we are doing as well, and you needn't say much about this because you are a songwriter, and a prolific songwriter and an award-winning songwriter, but I have always been an advocate for the songwriter. This gives us the opportunity to give a profile to songwriting.
You've always been a really strong believer in good, strong songs, good artists and great production. And getting to work with you so closely, I've come to know how great your ear is and how good you are at picking a great song for radio too, and songs that will cut through to the audience. And I've really enjoyed that about our relationship, Mark, is that that combined unity that we have for picking a great song and a great artist and then working really hard to make it a hit for them.
I just think that the lyrics are so important, but something else that I keep saying to the artists, that when I contact them for the very first time, introduce myself and say, I haven't heard you before, and this is a fantastic track. I like to give that credence. And there's not too many, I don't think, marketing agents around the world that have direct access to a DJ like our artists do. And this is not a very nice adjective, but I don't like to play crap.
No, and neither do I.
You don't like to hear it either, do you?
No, I don't. I turn off very quickly. I have to say, we get so much music come across our desk every day. Yeah. And if a song doesn't grab me in the first line with an artist singing, some of it just gets turned straight off. You just go, that's never going to make the grade. And that's how important it is to get your production right, to actually get your vocals right in those first couple of lines. And songs need to be strong from the start.
Yep, dead right. All right, well, we're going to go out with one of yours. Shaza, it's just been released and it's called Walking By My Side. What can you tell us about this one?
This was a song. I was actually talking to one of my spiritual friends one night, and we were talking about how it doesn't pay to agonise about things because, whatever's going to be is going to be. So we talked about just handing it over and letting God take care of it. And that's what the song is all about, that life can be so much easier with him walking by our side.
Beautiful, beautiful intro. And thanks for joining me today. And we'll catch up again next week. But I know that you're not going to go far because you're going to be listening to and hanging off every word KC has to say.
I am. And it's so wonderful to have KC featured on the show today. And I am absolutely going to tune in from here. Thank you very much for doing such a wonderful job. I love doing this show with you, and love and blessings to all our listeners out there until we catch up again next week.
And thank you to Peggy for behind the scenes and all the wonderful work she does to make this happen. Here we go.
Thank you.
Shaza Leigh and Walking By My Side.
There's no mountain too high, no river too wide, there's nothing I can't try when he's walking by my side. When this life I live seems all too much and the answers I can't find, I hand it over to the Lord and sleep on it that night. And when I awake next day, it seems it's all so crystal clear. I then wonder why I agonized when he's walking by my side. 'Cause there's no mountain too high, no river too wide, there's nothing I can't try when he's walking by my side. And at times I may not understand why a child can pass so young, how some can suffer so much pain and others feel alone. There are those who are still hungry and too many tears are cried, but we all can make a difference when he's walking by our side. 'Cause there's no mountain too high, no river too wide, there's nothing I can't try when he's walking by my side. No, there's no mountain too high, no river too wide, there's nothing I can't try when when he's walking by my side.
Yes, that's the fabulous singer-songwriter extraordinaire, Shaza Leigh, and also producer extraordinaire. And so we spoke a little bit about that, didn't we? The LBS studio and the great work that they do. All right, you are tuned in to all the W's.AusCountryMusicRadio.com, Oz Radio Gold and Allied International Radio. And I'd like to introduce to the world Ms. Casey Lacrosse. Hello, Casey.
Hi, howdy, Mark. Howdy everyone.
Really great to hear your voice once again on air, Casey, and straight out of Las Vegas. And I suppose everything's pumping there in Las Vegas as it always does.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me, Casey, I will touch on a couple of issues that are confronting you at the moment, and one that you've just got out of the way, and that is the production of your new CD. And I believe that you went down to Texas to record this. Is that true?
I did, yes, I did. I usually couldn't afford it to go down with the same engineer that I've used the last 3 CDs, but this time I said I really want this to be a really good CD, and so I went down and I recorded with Aaron Meador. He has his own studio down there. He's an award-winning sound engineer, and he really brought the very best out of me in this CD. I'm really, really happy with it.
How many tracks, Casey?
I think there's 19 or 20. You know, I always think I'm going to do less, and then I wind up, I can't stop writing, and I'm like, oh, there's another one to put on the CD. There's another one to put on the CD, and I know, right?
Yeah, that's Casey.
You know, my palms are I know, but my palms are short, so I have a lot.
Yeah, no, well, we just love playing them each morning, and to know that we've got another 20 coming is very, very exciting. But as well as that, I want to talk to you about, you have been so blessed, and so have we over the years, because we've introduced your poetry to singers, and they have contacted you, and you've been doing a bit of co-writing, so I'm very excited for you about that. I bet you like that part of the business.
Well, I love it because, I think every poet wants to be a lyricist, and I know I do, and I would not have the opportunities that I've had without you and Oz and Shaza. I am so grateful, Mark. I'm so grateful for everything that you have done for my poetry, for introducing me to Warren Carney, Ricky Parker. It's, really, it's so exciting when they reach out to me and we just start kicking it around, and before you know it, we've got a song. And that's what happened with me and Ricky Parker. We just draw inspiration from each other as well as stories. And before you know it, there we go. We had a song.
Yeah, and Ricky Parker actually picked your name up from Oz Radio Gold when we played your Poetry of a Morning.
I know. I'm so fortunate. Thank you for that. Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. Ricky is so talented. And we just go off. It's crazy when we're messaging and talking to each other because we both have so much input that we're talking over each other, and we have to regroup and reel each other in and say, okay, wait, which one were you talking? Which song were you talking about here? But this one, I know, right?
I can't imagine you talking over anybody, Casey.
Right.
Hey, Casey, the other thing too that you had to take advice from, of course, was the choice of the singer for this particular song. We're going to play in a moment, called Cowgirl Angel, and he's chosen very well, hasn't he?
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. I just spoke to Ricky and I said, how did you find Ryan Maloney? The guy was on The Voice. I mean, wow. Incredible.
Now, I
Really
didn't know.
Incredible.
I didn't know that he was on The Voice.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
wow. How well did
Yeah.
he do?
I don't know. But that's a biggie.
Yeah,
you know?
it is.
That's a
It
biggie.
is. It
So,
certainly
yeah.
lifts his profile to be able to have now a song that he's recorded and distributed worldwide. So that must be a feather in his cap as well as yours and Ricky. So I'm very excited for that.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll have to find out a little bit more about Ryan and where he lives in America.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I really don't know that much about him myself, and that Ricky even knew him, and he said he just reached out to him, found him on Facebook, and asked him to sing the song, and I guess he listened to it, and he did it. It's amazing.
Now we've got a couple of
amazing
minutes to
how-
talk. We've got a couple of minutes to talk about your visit down under, because you've been coming down to the Mildura Country Music Festival, and that's been very exciting for you. And you're coming again in September.
Yes, I'm so excited to be at the Apex Music Festival. My gosh, what a feather in my cowboy hat, I guess, huh?
Absolutely. So we'll look forward to your visit, but we might go out today's Showcase International with this song. I've got his full name here, Ryan White Maloney, and it's called Cowgirl Angel. Now, who gave it that title?
Ricky, absolutely Ricky. He said he wanted to put out, just with the camaraderie that we have and the bouncing ideas off of each other, he said he was really inspired that he wanted something for all the cowgirls of the West, their strengths and their overcoming adversity. He goes, this is really a tribute to their strength and resilience. And I'm so proud of that the West has reached over to Australia and around the world. I just love that. I'm so proud of that.
Yeah,
and Ricky picked up on that. Yes.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely fantastic. And I hope that you've sent the song down to Billy Bowles down there in Texas.
Oh, I need to do that because, Billy, I don't know when, but
he's
Billy
a great supporter.
Yes, he is. He's a great supporter, and he's going to do a world premiere for my new CD. So I'm very excited about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And of course, the wonderful producer Dina Wood, who is also promoting your product. But not only that, she promotes our station over in Texas and beyond, and we're thrilled. And that's all because of you, Cowgirl.
Well, thank you. It's just it all seems to fit like a puzzle.
Yes.
One thing, it's hands across the water, Mark. It's absolutely hands across the water. And look how we're all connected. It's amazing. And Dina does such a phenomenal job. I mean, she really does with the Indie Express. She's phenomenal.
Okay, thank you very much, KC, for speaking to us today. I'm really excited about what you're doing for our station and what you are doing for your own product, and we can't wait to get the hard product over here, the album, and played on Oz Breakfast. So bye to you, and look after yourself, young girl.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Bye. Here is the song. Everyone.
I've nearly drowned, been electrocuted, been nearly ran over once or twice. Think I'm still alive. It felt just like I was destined for a disaster. But then I found someone that could turn my life around. The Lord sent me an angel straight from heaven. She keeps me safe and sound. I was a mess, but now I'm blessed. Both feet on the ground. Yeah, she keeps my heart.
thank you for supporting the international show with Mark Eckel and Shaza Leigh. Proudly sponsored by Star Central and produced by Butler Gilchrist Productions.